Hello dear student. In last lecture we have seen what do you mean by angina, anginal pain. There is a chest pain because of there is a imbalance between oxygen demand and oxygen supply. We also see the root cause of why there is a imbalance between oxygen demand and oxygen supply because of the vasospasm and because of the deposition of atherosclerotic plaque in the inner wall of blood vessel, and because of this the oxygen or blood supply to the heart is decreased, and as the blood supply is decreased, because of that the oxygen supply as well as the nutrient supply which is required by heart to do or to perform the normal function is decreased. So that's why that may leads to pain in the chest, and that may also there is a pain in neck, some pain in neck as well as your left shoulder. So that is called as angina. Now we will see the anti-anginal agent. Here, this aim of treatment of angina, as we seen that we have to reduce the oxygen demand by the heart. First aim of treatment is we have to reduce the oxygen demand. How will you reduce this? That by reducing the workload, by reducing the heart rate, by reducing the force of contraction of heart, we will reduce the oxygen work. So that there is if the work is reduced, the requirement of oxygen as well as requirement of nutrient is also decreases, and this reducing of heart rate and contractility that can be obtained by using the beta blockers. You can see these beta blockers, when they are taken, they will act on the beta receptor, especially the beta 1 receptor, uh, uh, which is present in the myocardium, and because of that blocking of this beta receptor, what will happen? There is decrease in heart rate, and also there is decrease in force of contraction. So overall the cardiac workload or cardiac output is decreased, so that the oxygen demand by the heart is also decreases. Then we can also reduce the total peripheral resistance or peripheral vascular resistance. That can be by dilating the systemic arteries and vein. We can decrease the preload, also we can decrease the afterload. Preload that can be decreased by using the vasodilator, and the drug of choice here in this case is nitrates, or they are also called as organic nitrates. Also we can decrease the afterload. Okay, that is by vasodilator again, and here we can use CCBs, calcium channel blocker. We can use calcium channel blocker. So by reducing the oxygen demand, that is by reducing the heart work, and also by reducing the peripheral resistance, total peripheral resistance, by decreasing the preload, also by decreasing the afterload. So here we can use beta blockers, organic nitrates, and calcium channel blockers for reducing the oxygen demand. The other than this, we can also increases the oxygen supply. We can the another way of treatment of angina is we can increase the oxygen supply. Now that can be increased by dilating the coronary arteries. As you know that the oxygen or the blood supply to the heart will be done by the coronary arteries. So we can dilate the coronary arteries, so that there is increase in coronary blood flow. So this will promote the regional distribution, and that increases the distribution of blood in the ischemic region also, in the ischemic region also, and this also can be achieved by using nitrate. So dilating of coronary arteries, that also can be achieved by the organic nitrates. So other than that, we can also go for some preventive or supportive therapy, like we can use antiplatelet coagulating and uh, uh, thrombus formation inhibiting agent, thrombus formation inhibiting agent. And here the drug of choice here is mostly we can go for aspirin, which is a antiplatelet agent, antiplatelet agent. So this is the different aim of treatment of angina. Okay, either we will reduce the oxygen demand, or we will increase the oxygen supply to the heart. That can be attained by dilating the coronary arteries. And also the other treatment, like we can use antiplatelet agent and the agent which will inhibit the thrombus formation. So this is aim of treatment. Now we will see the different class which can be used as an anti-anginal agent. So first, and this is the most important class, and it is a prototype of this uh, anti-anginal drugs, is organic nitrates. And the examples are nitroglycerin, amyl nitrate, isosorbide dinitrate, isosorbide mononitrate is there. Also pentanitrate is also there. So these comes under the organic nitrate category. The second important class which can be used for the treatment of angina is beta adrenergic blocking agent. Beta adrenergic blocking agent. And as you know that all lols are beta blockers, and the examples are propranolol is there, atenolol, metoprolol, pindolol, timolol. So many lols are available in the market. And if you have to go for specific, you can go for beta 1 blocker, and that is atenolol is a drug of choice here. Then the next class is calcium channel blocker. And the examples for this calcium channel blocker is nifedipine and verapamil. Also diltiazem is another drug which can be uh, used, or that can be comes under the category calcium channel blocker. So this is the classification of anti anginal agent. I hope you understand the classification. We will go further. See, so how they will act. You can see the beta blocker. Now, what they will do, you know that they will decrease the rate. Okay, decrease the rate. They will decrease the contractility of heart. So this will reduce the heart work. Okay, so that will also reduce, or that will also decrease the oxygen demand. So this beta blocker, by reducing the rate, heart rate, and by reducing the force of contraction, it will reduce the oxygen demand by the heart. So this is beta blocker. Then if we see about the calcium channel blocker, now these calcium channel blocker, they what they will do, they will causes the arteriolar resistance vessel. They causes the dilation of arteries, dilation of arteries. Also they also helpful in the dilation of the coronary arteries also, dilation of coronary arteries also. So this will increases the oxygen supply. This will increases the oxygen supply to the heart. And uh, those who dilate are the calcium channel blocker that dilate the different arteries, that also helpful in reducing the um, afterload. That will also helpful in the reducing the afterload of that heart, so that the heart work is also again decrease in this situation. So oxygen demand is reduced by the calcium channel blockers. Also the oxygen supply, by dilating the blood vessels, by dilating the coronary artery, the oxygen supply to the heart is increased. And by dilating the other arteries, oxygen demand oxygen demand to the uh, heart is decrease. Oxygen demand by the heart is uh, decrease, and oxygen supply increases. So that's how this calcium channel blocker will helpful in the management of angina. Next is nitrates. As you can see here, this nitrate that not only decreases the preload, as well as that also decreases the afterload. Both preload is they dilate the venous capacitance vessel, reduce the venous return, so that it will reduces the preload. It also dilate the arteries, so that they will reduce the afterload. And this nitrate they also increase or dilate the coronary artery. They will dilate the coronary artery, so they will reduce the oxygen demand, as well as they will also increase the oxygen supply. So by these two way, this nitrate will be helpful in the treatment of angina. Okay. Then the antiplatelet agent like aspirin that can also be used, and that will inhibit the platelet aggregation in the ischemic area, or platelet aggregation at the atherosclerotic plaque. So that can be this aspirin can be used for the treatment of angina, or the for the further prevention of worsening of the angina, that can be done by using aspirin. Okay. We have to see one by one. First we will see the mechanism of action of organic nitrate compound. Now these organic nitrate, what they will do, these nitrates they will become denitrated, means removal of nitrogen. They will become the nitrated by denitrated by glutathione S transferase. We this enzyme is present in smooth muscle, so they will get converted into nitric oxide. Yeah, that is denoted as NO. This will get converted into nitric oxide. Now this nitric oxide further it will activate the guanylate cyclase enzyme. This guanylate cyclase enzyme, which is present in the smooth muscle, and this guanylate cyclase, that will activation of this will leads to conversion of GTP into cyclic GMP. It will leads to conversion of GTP into cyclic GMP. Further, this cyclic GMP that will facilitate, what it will do, it will facilitate the dephosphorylation of myosin light chain. uh, this will facilitate the dephosphorylation of myosin light chain. Now this will prevent the interaction of myosin and actin band, which is present in the smooth muscle. This will prevent the interaction of myosin and actin band, which is present in the smooth muscle. And lastly, this may leads to causes that prevention of interaction of myosin and actin, that may leads to relaxation of smooth muscle, that may leads to relaxation of smooth muscle. So by this way, this organic nitrate they will uh, relax the smooth muscles of blood vessels, especially all arteries, veins, as well as the coronary artery. They will get dilated. The relaxation of smooth muscle leads to dilation of blood vessels, and that will leads to dilation of blood vessel, and this will be helpful for the increasing the oxygen supply to the heart, increasing the oxygen supply to the heart. So you can again see here. Now you can see there, because of this atherosclerotic plaque, that the amount of blood in the ischemic area, you just see here, that amount of blood in case of in the ischemic area, the blood flow to the ischemic area of the myocardium, there is very fall in blood flow, or decreased blood flow to the area in the ischemic area. But when you are taking the nitrate, what will happen? You just see here, by taking the nitrate, because of the blood vessel dilation of blood vessel, the amount of blood flow in the ischemic area is increased. Amount of blood flow in the ischemic area is increased, so the oxygen supply to that particular area is also increases. Okay, so this is about how nitrate increases the flow in the ischemic zone. It will directly relax the smooth muscle, dilate all type of blood vessel, lowers the resting blood pressure, lower the myocardial oxygen requirement, and it relieves the anginal attack, shorten the duration of cardiac systole, and also reduces the cardiac size. And we seen that it is responsible to reduce the cardiac size. And you know that the demand oxygen demand by the heart is directly proportional to the length of muscle fiber present in the heart, length of cardiac muscle fiber present in the heart. As the cardiac size is decreased or cardiac muscle size is reduced, the amount of oxygen required is also reduced. Thus this nitrate reduces the cardiac work, decreases the venous return, reduces the end diastolic pressure, volume, and reduces the ventricular size and wall tension. These overall effect, this will improve the ventricular efficiency, and also it will reduce the oxygen demand. So these are the pharmacological effects of organic nitrates. Now the adverse drug reaction or side effects of organic nitrate: postural hypotension with reflex tachycardia. This will happen with the organic nitrate. Then nitrate syncope with fainting and collapse, that may be occur, that is due to the increase in dilation of venous capitation vessel, and that may leads to decrease in venous return, decrease in cardiac output, and decrease in blood pressure. So that may lead to nitrate syncope. Now this can be treated by putting the patient in the low head position. You can treat this nitrate syncope. You have to lower the position of head of that patient. Then flushing of blush area, that's especially the area of face, neck, and upper trunk. Then throbbing headache, this is another side effect of this organic nitrate, and it is very common. Tendency to increases the intracranial pressure, and that is used so that this organic nitrate compound or these drug can be used cautiously in cerebral bleeding and in case of head trauma or head injury. So these are the main side effect. Others are, there are sometimes rash may be there, visual disturbance may be there. uh, these organic nitrates are, they are carcinogenic in nature, they may develop cancer. And one more side effect which is associated with this organic nitrate is that uh, formation of methemoglobinemia. Okay, in overdose and in accidental poisoning case, this organic nitrate, that may lead to methemoglobinemia. What will happen? Instead of hemoglobin, methemoglobin is formed. Okay, now for the requirement of hemoglobin, it requires Fe2 plus, Fe plus plus, but here it will take Fe plus plus plus, Fe 3 plus, so that in presence of nitrate, uh, this iron is taken as Fe plus plus plus, so that may leads to formation of methemoglobin, methemoglobin. And they don't have any oxygen carrying ability, these are not having any oxygen carrying ability. So this is the problem with overdose and accidental poisoning, that may develop methemoglobinemia. Okay, therapeutic uses: organic nitrate, they are used to treat angina pectoris. Also they are helpful in the um, treatment of bronchial asthma, as This also leads to increase the or that will dilate the bronchi, the smooth muscle which are present in the bronchi. These organic nitrate that may also leads to dilation of bronchial smooth muscle. So they have a role in the treatment of bronchial asthma, in the treatment of trigeminal neuralgia, and in the Raynaud's disease. Now, what do you mean by this Raynaud's disease? That this is characterized by the spasm of artery, sudden spasm of artery in the extremities, especially in the finger region, especially in the finger region. So these organic nitrates are used for the treatment of angina pectoris, bronchial asthma, in trigeminal neuralgia, and in the treatment of Raynaud's disease. Preparations which are available: sodium nitrate, so nitroglycerin is there, isosorbide is there. Now this isosorbide and nitroglycerin that can be taken by sublingual route, as this will bypass the first pass metabolism. Also the onset of action is quick. Onset of action of these organic nitrate, nitroglycerin and isosorbide, that is taken mostly by a sublingual route. Quick onset of action, also it will inhibit the first pass metabolism. So these are the preparations of organic nitrate. Now the nitrate tolerance. Continuous and frequent exposure to this kind of drug that can lead to development of complete tolerance. The tolerance, how it develop the tolerance, the exact mechanism is not completely understood, but there are some theories, and that may be related to the enzyme which is involved in converting the nitrate into NO. Okay, the glutathione S transferase, whether if that enzyme is not available, though we will give the nitrate, they are inactive. They has to be convert into NO, nitric oxide. They has to convert into nitric oxide in the smooth muscle. Then and then only they will produce the relaxation effect. If that enzyme is not available, the nitrate will not get converted into NO. Also, the another reason is to the enzyme which produces cyclic GMP. If there is uh, no ample presence of cyclic GMP or guanylate cyclase enzyme, that also is required. So because of the shortage of these enzymes, there is a chance that there is a development of tolerance. Now, the industrial or occupational exposure to the organic nitrate has been associated with the Monday disease, and the physical dependence manifest by variant angina occurring 1 to 2 days after the withdrawal. Okay, and whatever the tolerance which is developed by this nitrate, that can be overcome by stopping the drug for 1 or 2 days. By stopping the drug for 1 or 2 days, we can recover that tolerance. Okay, and again you can start with the same drug. Next class of compound as an anti-anginal agent is beta blocker. Beta blocker, and the example is propranolol. What they will do, they will act on the beta receptor, they will decrease the heart rate. Heart rate decreases, oxygen demand decreases. Heart rate decreases, oxygen demand decreases. Then the ventricular myocardium, it decreases the force of contraction, it decreases the contractility, so the oxygen demand decreases. So this drug, especially they will reduce the oxygen demand by the heart. They will reduce the oxygen demand by the heart. Also they will decreases the blood pressure, that is they will decreases the afterload, and by which it also decreases the myocardial oxygen demand. By reducing the blood pressure, by reducing the afterload, it will decreases the myocardial oxygen demand, and thus how it also decreases the oxygen demand by the heart. Produces the protective action, It will block the activity of heart mediated through beta blocker, reduces rate contractility and thus oxygen demand. Propranolol is combined with nitrates to obtain a synergistic effect. So mostly the organic nitrate, they are taken with propranolol. So you will get dual or synergistic, more than dual effect. Synergistic effect, that is, it will decreases the oxygen demand because of beta blocker, and it will increases the oxygen supply because of nitrates, because of nitrate. Then hypoxia, precipitation of congestive cardiac failure. These are the some common cause of side effect or common side effects of these beta blockers. Other than this, the preparation which is available as a propranolol 1 to 40 milligram 3 times a day. This is the preparation for beta blocker which is used for the management of angina. Next is calcium channel blocker. Now you can see these calcium channels is blocked, so calcium is not available, so there is no formation of this uh, sorry, there is no formation of this calmodine and calcium complex. So this complex is not formed, so this that will not activate this myosin light chain kinase. So this myosin light chain kinase is not activated, so there is no interaction of myosin light chain kinase, that will not form. This kinase is required to convert this myosin light chain into myosin light chain phosphate. Okay, myosin light chain phosphate. So this will not form. Okay, so we can say the dephosphorylation of myosin will take place, and if this myosin phosphate light chain phosphate is not formed, this will not interact with actin. This will not interact with actin. So this is not formed because of blocking of this calcium channel. The calcium ions inside the cell decreases, so that will decrease the formation of myosin light chain phosphate. Okay, they will decrease this, so the interaction between actin and myosin decreases. Okay, so interaction between actin and myosin decreases, so that may leads to dilation of smooth muscle. Now here, which what it is shown, that calcium, when calcium channel open, calcium come inside, react with calmodine, form a calmodine complex, calcium calmodine complex, that will activate the myosin light chain kinase. This myosin light chain uh, myosin light chain, that will get converted, this kinase who is responsible for conversion of myosin light chain into myosin light chain phosphate. Okay, and this will leads to actin and myosin interaction and causes contraction. So this will not happen. This will formation of myosin light chain phosphate is not happen if there is no presence of calcium ions inside the cell. So this may leads to relaxation. Do you get that? This may leads to the relaxation. Also the beta 2 agonist, beta 2 agonist, they what they will do, they will have a positive effect on ATP, which will get converted into cyclic AMP, and this cyclic AMP is responsible for the formation of myosin light chain, which will get converted into myosin light chain phosphate. But because of the cyclic GMP, this may leads to formation of cyclic GMP, and this cyclic GMP will convert this myosin light chain phosphate into myosin. This cyclic GMP will lead to formation or conversion of this myosin light chain phosphate to myosin light chain, so that there is no interaction. There is no interaction of this myosin with actin. So ultimately it will leads to relaxation of the blood vessel or relaxation of that smooth muscles which is present in the blood vessel. Okay, so this is the mechanism of action. I hope you understand. Next, it will block the entry of calcium in myocardial and vascular smooth muscle, and thus decreases the availability of intracellular calcium. Block the entry of extracellular calcium ions, decreases the contractility. It also helpful in decreasing the contractility of myocardium, so that the heart rate is decreased and force of contraction is also decreased. So these ccbs, this will also helpful in decreasing the oxygen demand, and also it will helpful in increasing the oxygen supply. It reduces the cardiac output and oxygen consumption. Orally it is effective and completely absorbed. The problem is side effects of these calcium channel blockers. The this constipation, this is GI related side effect of CCB. Other than that, leg cramp and heart block, these are the major side effects of calcium channel blocker. Clinical use of this calcium channel blocker, that can be used for the treatment of stable and variant type of angina. The examples are nifedipine, verapamil, and diltiazem. These are the example. And also it can be used for the treatment of unstable type of angina. And here, in case of unstable angina, we can go for verapamil and diltiazem. And you can see that there are three types of drug, or three drugs which are present under ccbs. Nifedipine, which comes from the dihydropyridine derivative. This is a dihydropyridine derivative, and the actions of dihydropyridine derivative like nifedipine, the action of this nifedipine is similar to that of nitroglycerin. It causes the coronary vasodilation, also it causes the blood vessel vasodilation. And the uh, actions of verapamil actions of verapamil is actions of verapamil and diltiazem are similar to those of beta blockers. Actions of verapamil and diltiazem, that is similar to that of beta blockers. So this is about the calcium channel blocker. Now the treatment of acute attack. Treatment of attack in case of stable angina. Now, this acute attack in case of stable angina, that can be treated mostly by organic nitrate. That can be treated by organic nitrate like nitroglycerin, which is denoted as GTN, isosorbide mononitrate, or isosorbide dinitrate can be used for the treatment of acute attack of in stable angina. Now, the treatment of unstable angina. Now, this may leads to myocardial infarction or sudden death may occur. This unstable angina, that may leads to myocardial infarction and sudden death. Now, this the patient should be admitted to the hospital quickly. Uh, there is a bed rest. Then we have to give the pain relief on pain relieval drug or painkiller is given. Also we have to give sedation so that the patient will have more and more rest. Then we will go for anticoagulant by IV route, and also we can give aspirin. Now, normally here the dose of aspirin as an antiplatelet agent, it is around 50 mg to 150 mg. Here 150 mg of aspirin is given for inhibition of platelet aggregation. And anti-anginal drug in combination. Now the combination is, we have to give nitrate with beta blockers, or we have to give beta blocker with CCB blocker. So this is the way of treatment of unstable angina. As this unstable angina is, that may lead to myocardial infraction, and it may be lethal, and that may lead to sudden death. So first and most important, that you have to hospitalize that patient. Then you have to take the rest is given to that patient, bed rest, strict bed rest is there. You have to relieve the pain by giving the painkiller. uh, Also you can have sedation to to give more and more rest to that patient. Then anticoagulant agent like or antiplatelet agent like aspirin is given to that patient, and along with that anti-anginal drug which is given in combination. Mostly the organic nitrates and beta blockers are taken in combination, or beta blockers and ccbs are taken in to combination. So this is about the treatment of angina, treatment of unstable angina. Now this is about the by using different drug you can treat the angina. If the condition is severe, or as like unstable angina, or if there is a myocardial infarction, if the deposition is very high, or if the blockage of blood vessel is very high, there are other surgical methods of treatment of angina is available. Like we have to go for thrombolysis. Okay, thrombolysis means we have to dissolve that thrombosis. You have to dissolve that, and that is removal or clearing the blockage of blood vessel. Also you can go for angioplasty. You can go for angioplasty, that is the displacement. By the displacement method we can increase the size of that blood vessel, so that the blood supply to that area will become normal. Also the another way of treatment of this angina is by um, tubectomy. Tubectomy, that is removal of that particular area, or we have to bypass that area. We have to do the bypass of that area. If you have I will show here. See, this is the this is your blood vessel, and if this thrombotic is there, so that the blood supply in this area is getting reduced. So and sometimes, after sometimes, if it is blocked, you just see here. Now what will happen, that if now the complete blockage is there. If it is blocked completely, if it is blocked completely, then you can go for the bypass. You can go for the bypass. You can do like this, uh, or removal of that area, or you can go for bypass. Okay, and you have to block this, and you have to also block this. Okay, so bypass can be done to save that patient. Okay, so these are the another surgical methods which will be helpful in the treatment of mm, in the treatment of this angina pectoris. So I hope you understand this thing. So this is about the anti-anginal agent and another methods which are used for the treatment of angina, especially some surgical methods like thrombolysis will be done, angioplasty or thrombectomy is the different methods of surgery which can be done for the treatment of angina pectoris. So here I conclude this anti-anginal agent. I hope you understand this. If you have any query, you can comment me in the inbox, or you can also contact me on my WhatsApp number. So here I am stopping this video. Thank you very much.